Well, hello everyone and welcome. My name is Kristen Peterson and I am a certified holistic health coach, and I was asked to speak to you today on the topic of immune health and the important role that our immune system plays in our overall health and ways to help support that. So thank you all so much for having me join you via video to deliver this message, since we all can't be in the same room together today. It kind of makes me sad. There's nothing that is better than that human interaction, but I feel truly grateful and blessed to be able to deliver this message to you guys today. I think that it's especially something that's very relevant right now and really at the top of people's minds right now, especially as we are dealing with these trying times while we are battling this coronavirus. So thank you for having me. And I do want to just stress that, you know, our immune system, we may be more aware of it today more than ever, but I want to stress that it's not just important today. It is important every day. And there are things that we can do to help build and support that immune system. So I'm going to just share a couple slides with you and then just do some talking and hope to give you guys some really good content that you can take away with you today. So I just want to give you guys, this is a quick little like table of contents, basically about immune health. We're going to talk about the relationship between nutrition and your immune system. That's no surprise to any of you ladies who know me. We always talk a lot about food and the right foods and maybe the not so great foods to be eating with anything that supports our health. So we will talk about that, the role that nutrition plays in your immune system. And I also want to talk a little bit about what the immune system actually is and give an understanding of the immune system. I think that sometimes we just use the word immune system, but we may not really understand what it is and how it works. And it's actually very cool and I find it very interesting. And I want to share some of that with you guys so that you have a better understanding of, when we say support a healthy immune system, what that means. And when we're supporting a healthy immune system, what's actually happening in our bodies when we do that. And then I will wrap it up with we'll talk about tips and tricks and ideas and things that you can do to build and maintain your immune health. So let's stop my screen share and get back to my notes here. There is a direct correlation between whole food, plant-based nutrition and your immune system. But when I say whole food, what do I mean by that? It's not just the name of a fancy grocery store. It's whole foods are basically the foods that nature provides, the foods that God put forth for us to eat, and with the intention that we were supposed to be eating these without altering them and adjusting them. But so basically think back to what nature provides, and we get our fruits and our vegetables and nuts and seeds and whole grains and berries, things that we get from the earth. The saying that Michael Pollan has, if it grew on a plant, eat it. If it was made in a plant, don't. So that's kind of a simplified definition of whole food. So why are these so good for us and so critical to our immune health? Well, since plants are whole foods, plants contain certain, you're going to hear the words phytonutrients, micronutrients, phytochemicals. This is what plants provide to us that support a healthy immune system. And to date, in science, we are aware of and have been able to identify somewhere around 20,000 different phytonutrients that have been identified. And we know that we haven't identified all of them. So there's probably another 20,000 that haven't been identified yet, or maybe even more. So we can only identify a certain number of them. But it's important for us to get those from whole food sources rather than, we hear a lot about vitamin supplements and stuff all that's just extracted, and all that is just what the scientist knows and what they've been able to duplicate in a lab. So really the importance of getting our nutrition from the food source is why this is so important in eating a diet rich in whole food nutrition. And we know, just based on those numbers, knowing that we can identify 20,000 and that there's probably another 20,000 phytonutrients out there that we can't identify, we know that just by trying to just eat a healthy diet, we're probably not getting enough of this nutrition. So I think it's important to focus on making sure that we do through the foods that we are eating. So it's, and I think a lot of us do tend to just eat a handful of the same kinds of things. I mean, think about when you're in the produce department in the grocery store, you probably are in the habit of buying the same few things. If we're going to have a dinner salad or, a vegetable with our meal, we're probably, eating the same few things. If you shop in the same stores, they typically have the same things available. So it can be difficult to break those habits and kind of think beyond what you're used to eating and maybe just tempting yourself and tasking yourself with trying some new things. So, because what we really all need is a little bit of all of those tens of thousands of phytonutrients from a variety of plants. And most of us just eat the same ones. So we know that all of those, this is why we say eat the rainbow, because all of the nutrients in all of those different colored plants, all the colors of the rainbow, you've got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, everything in between. And all of those plants have different phytonutrients in them. So your purple foods, like your eggplant, has different phytonutrients, phytochemicals, phytocompounds than the nutrients found in the red foods like a tomato or a strawberry. So all of those nutrients work together. They all work synergistically. They all provide something of value and something of benefit to your body that helps support a healthy immune system. So over over evolution, for evolutionary periods of time, our bodies have adapted to those foods and we've evolved, and it's that nutrition that allows our bodies to function well and to stay healthy. So when you think about the human body, we really have an amazing capacity to stay alive, even when we are really in poor health. So, I mean, I think we can all agree that we've seen there are people out there, if you go out in public, maybe not right now, because we're not supposed to be out in public, but when you think about being out in public, going out shopping or going out to a movie theater or a restaurant, or walking through a shopping mall, we see physically, you can see people who are just in poor health, but they are still alive. They are still breathing. They are still functioning. Their heart is still beating. Their organs are still moving. They're just not operating at an optimal level of health. Their immune function is compromised. But the human body just has this amazing capacity to stay alive and to continue to function, even minimally, in the worst of conditions, when we may even be the ones physically abusing our own bodies and not giving it the best, treating it the best to allow it to thrive the best. So proper nutrition is really, really important for all of our organs, and it's important for our organs to help them function and function well and function normally. So, and that includes the immune system. Our immune system relies on proper nutrition for that to happen. So we know that without enough nutrition, you're never going to be as healthy as you could be, and that your immune health is just going to be compromised. So if you think you feel good now, if you increase that level of nutrition from whole food plants, you're only going to feel better. I always tell people, you know how good you feel now. Imagine how much better you can feel. You don't know how much better you can feel unless you try it. Try to make some changes to that your health, which can then boost the immune system and help you feel even better. And I always tell people, it feels good to feel good. And sometimes you don't know how good you can feel unless you challenge yourself and start really making some changes. And right now, I think we're all aware of that, aware of what we're doing and aware of the importance of our immune system. And I think right now, since we're all so aware of it, we may be a little more willing to make some changes and try some new things. So I'm going to talk next and move into talking about what the immune system actually is. So it is an entire system. Okay, unlike your organs. So your organs are just like single solitary parts inside your body, but the immune system, it's a system of complex parts and cells and substances that it has the job of protecting the body from foreign invaders. And those foreign invaders are, guess what? Things like viruses and bacteria and parasites and molds and yeast and pollen. So basically anything that comes inside the body that's not normally supposed to be there has to be identified by the immune system. And the immune system has the job of either assimilating those items or attempting to get rid of it if it sees it as a threat and sees it as something that's a foreign invader. So the immune system has the job of let me back up. The immune system has the job of identifying cells within the body that may become abnormal. And those are cancer cells and cells that have been infected or invaded by a virus. So when viruses enter the cells, they replicate and then they branch off and then they invade the other cells. So we have this thing called natural killer cells, which sounds super cool. It's like a little army inside your body, and it has the job of going out into the body and killing the infected cells. So a normal, healthy, functioning immune system does exactly that, because that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to see the virus and rally the troops and call in the army and kill the virus. That's when it's working properly, that's how it's supposed to go. So we have two types of immunity. And one type, the first type, is your innate immunity. And this is the one that we were born with. We're all born healthy. When we're born, if we're born healthy, we have natural immunity. And that comes in the form of our white blood cells and our killer cells. So we're born with those killer cells, those invading cells. And we have the other type of immunity is called your acquired immunity. And when the immune system meets a new invader, the first time that you catch a virus and you get sick, your immune system, it sees this and it reacts to this and it gets rid of it, but it also then learns to recognize that virus so that it can respond immediately and get rid of that virus. And it teaches the immune system how to react and respond. I think that's really cool. So your body learns and adapts over time on how to make you better. So we also have two types of cells in our immune system, and one is the T cell and one is the B cell. And I'm going to talk particularly about the B cells because the B cells are what produce antibodies, and those attack and attach to the viruses and bacteria. And it helps the T cells to recognize things that need to basically be gotten rid of in the body. And phytonutrients help us maintain and regulate that normal, healthy function of the immune system. So without enough whole food nutrition, many of the components of the immune system just become inactive, and the immune system just gets underactive, and it's unable to do that job fully, and it leaves you more susceptible to illness in the form of things like viruses. So without enough whole food plant-based nutrition in our bodies, the immune system just settles into this with enough whole food nutrition in our body, our immune system functions and behaves normally. So it settles into a normal, healthy, functioning system. So we know, like I tell people that there's no limit to eating the rainbow, because we know that more is better, right? It's like kind of like the one category where you can eat all you want, right? You can eat too much chocolate, you can eat too much sugar, too much candy, but with fruits and vegetables, there's no limit. Your body will use and assimilate the phytonutrients in those foods, and they don't go to waste. So we know that most Americans are eating, the statistic is 0 to 3 servings a day. And some of that comes in the form of ketchup, the tomatoes that are in ketchup, and the fried potatoes that we make French fries with, unfortunately. So the goal is really to strive for 10 or more servings a day, to build and have maintain a functioning, healthy immune system. So what you really want to do is aim for fresh and raw. Raw foods haven't been cooked. The nutritional value has not been cooked out of those. And we know that that is best just for the maximum nutritional content in the foods. So, and you want to just not focus on the same 10 every day, right? That's the hard part, is getting a variety. So I challenge you to try to eat different colors. Try some things that maybe you haven't tried in a while. Try adding in, when you look in your shopping cart, add and look at the colors in your cart, and try to get a variety of foods that represent the rainbow because of the phytonutrition that works synergistically to help support the immune system. And if you can find ripe fruit, if you grow your own food, some of you guys know that I have a tower garden and I grow a lot of my own produce right in my own backyard, because the fresher, the better. The longer it's been allowed to sit on the vine, the better. The more nutrition has been allowed to come into that plant. And so if you can't grow your own, maybe you can find some locally sourced foods from, I know that there's lots of local farmers markets here. I know downtown Chandler and Gilbert have farmers markets on Saturday mornings that go, I think, from 9 until noon or 1 o'clock. So those are local farmers. So the produce will actually have more nutritional content. So if you can get to a farmer's market, that's a great way to get healthier produce in your body. And it also helps support a local farmer. So that's another good thing. So because we know that people who eat a variety of fresh, like fresh vine ripened fruits and vegetables, they heal faster from illness. They consume less medications because they're just not sick as often. And when they are sick, they're sick for a shorter duration of time. People recover quicker when they have a healthy, functioning immune system, when it's especially supported by a diet rich in plants, whole food plants. So we know that as we age, certain functions of our immune system slow down and become less efficient. So as we age, this is probably why we see, you know, when people are elderly, they are more susceptible to catching colds and flus and virus. So it is, I think, even more important as we age to focus on making sure that we are eating enough foods from plant-based sources and doing everything that we can to support a healthy immune system. So, I want to talk very briefly about, I'm hearing a lot of talk about specifically elderberry extract. And this is a really important topic. I think it's important to eat the variety of foods, but to be cautious of eating things that are extracts. And there's lots of things, if you go into just the supplement section at your store, and you'll see all sorts of different extracts or maybe herbal extracts. I'm hearing a lot right now about elderberry, just for example, and I'm not picking on elderberry, but what these extracts do is it brings a slight increase of inflammation into your body and to help you deal with that infection. But if you are ill and your immune system is already inflamed, you don't want to introduce things to the body that are going to kind of exacerbate that inflammation. So the importance is to focus on building and maintaining a healthy immune system rather than doing things and taking extracts that are just going to give it a boost, because that boost may not be giving you a benefit. It may actually be causing a little more harm than good. So what you really want is a tiny bit of tens of thousands of phytonutrients to help support the healthy immune function and help fight off illness and disease. So rather than boost it. So we don't want to stress the immune system. So eating a whole food plant-based diet and things, as much variety as you can get, is the best way to build that immune health. So I think that, like I said, I think right now is a good time we've all really become very aware of how important it is to have a healthy immune system, and not just for right now. We need to have that healthy immune system so that in the event that things like this happen, our immune system is prepared to protect us, and not just during these times, but, you know, their flu season comes around every winter, colds and flus, and just viruses are viruses, and viruses will continue to evolve and mutate. And we want to make sure that as that happens, that our bodies are protected as best as possible. So I also want to talk a little bit about some other things that we can do to build a healthy immune system. And one of those is stress reduction. I think right now, with all the crazy things that are going on, we have a little higher level of stress right now. And I think that it's important to focus on making sure that we are doing things to decrease the stress in our lives. And stress increases cortisol levels, which weaken the immune system. So let's be aware of that and do things to help reduce that. And if you aren't already doing things, now would be a great time, especially now that a lot of us are, have no choice but to be indoors. This is a really good time to create an environment that is relaxed and stress-free. Maybe listening to some meditation type music. I know you can find these on playlists or download playlists, or just look on the internet for just, like, you can Google massage music or yoga music or flute music and things that are just kind of soothing. I love to listen to ambient sounds like, like the sounds of a waterfall, or if you have a sound machine that can also help. Certain sounds can help reduce stress, like the sounds of a waterfall or wind chimes, or just sounds of nature, like wind blowing through trees. So also things like that, like getting outside, go for a walk, exercise, breathe the fresh air outside. Do breathing exercises where you're focusing on deep breathing in, and hold it as high, inhale as much as you can and hold it for a few seconds, and then slowly let it out. And do that for a minute and just allow yourself to breathe. Cleanses and kind of recirculates the blood. Meditation, there's lots of apps that you can download, or again, just Google it and look for guided meditations if you prefer guided, or just meditation. You can, again, kind of music to help meditate too, to just free and release your thoughts, to help reduce stress. Yoga is something I love to do, and right now in particular I am really missing my gym, because I love to do yoga at least once a week to just kind of keep me calm and sane. And without that, there are resources that you can download. And one in particular that I know of through a group that I work with is called thehealthylivingrevolution.com. And there is a resource tab on that website that you can go to that has at-home workouts on it. And there is a series of yoga and meditation exercises on there, and they're free resources that you can download. You can also take naps since we're at home. Some people, I've been doing a lot of binge watching on TV, and sometimes that's just really good. Good way to just reduce stress. Try not to watch stressful shows, and focus on getting quality sleep, even though we kind of fall out of our routine and our regimen when this is just kind of put everybody, a lot of people aren't working from home, so we're stuck at home, and you may be going to bed too late and sleeping in too late. Try to stick to a routine and focus on quality sleep. And hydration. Hydration really helps us to flush out toxins and foreign invaders, so make sure that you are drinking plenty of water every day. And another thing that we want to do is focus on, I've seen when I go grocery shopping, there is the shelves that are bare are the ones that are loaded with processed foods. And we've talked a lot about this in this group, and the importance of not relying on those foods because they're void of nutrition. So if you are buying things in packages, I'm seeing things like a lot of canned beans are off the shelves, and that's great. But just don't, avoid buying processed, boxed meals that are void of nutrition, and try to pay attention to what you're eating there. Again, focusing back on the whole fresh foods. And the stores that I've been at seem to be doing a really great job of keeping up with the stocking of fresh produce. So buy what you need for a week, and you should be good to go. Also focusing on, I think when we get stressed, we tend to eat a lot of sugar and things that are going to deplete the minerals that we have in our system and tax our immune system. So be cautious of the amount of sugar that you are eating, and so that we're not pulling the immune system down any further. We want to build and elevate the immune system by eating lots of clean plants and avoiding the things that are going to pull our immune system down right now. So I had a couple of quick slides to share with you here at the end. Just very quickly, want to review how to incorporate whole foods into your diet to help build your immune system and eat the rainbow, and focus on a wide variety of colorful plants. Another easy way, I think, to incorporate more plants into your diet is I throw a lot of vegetables in smoothies. I keep frozen fruits in my freezer. I peel and chunk up bananas and keep a bag of banana chunks in my freezer to add to smoothies. It helps make them thicker. When I come home from the grocery store, another tip I like to do is wash and pre-cut my vegetables so that they're convenient, because then that becomes an easier snack rather than the things like the processed foods that may not be as healthy. And I am focusing on adding more fruits and vegetables to recipes. If I'm following a recipe, I try to add more fruits and vegetables to it. And I also start with fruits and vegetables when I'm building my plate. Start with the fresh fruits and vegetables and add everything else to it after that. And if you can get to a local farmer's market to buy produce that has more nutritional value, that is a great and simple way to build your immune system. And as of saying this right now, I'm thinking the farmers markets may not be open right now, but once they reopen, this would be a great way to get back out there and not only do something social, but support your local farmer and help get healthier produce on your plate as well. And I love to use Pinterest boards. I have a board on there, Common Sense Nutrition, that I use to just save my own recipes and support people that I work with as we do our clean eating program once a month, so that we have a resource to kind of keep those recipes at as we go back and we do that program every month. And when I'm searching in Pinterest, I like to search for vegan recipes, just so that I'm looking for the recipes that are predominantly fruit and vegetables first, because I can always add animal protein to it if I choose, or I can add, a little bit of bread or something, and so that the fruits and vegetables are the first focus for those recipes. So hopefully that was helpful. So thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. I wanted to just close this out by adding my contact information here. Again, my name is Kristen Peterson. I'm a certified holistic health coach. My contact number is right here, 602-770-8221. I welcome your phone calls always. And you can go to my website, commonsensenutritionaz.com, and check out information on the programs that I offer, in particular the clean eating program that I do guide once a month. And a lot of the things that we focus on in that program are things that build and maintain a healthy immune system. And if you would like to contact me privately, you can always send me an email, and my email is up here as well, k684peterson, Peterson @cox.net. So thank you all so very much for asking me to share with you today. I hope that this blessed you. I hope you found it helpful. And I really miss being in the room with all of you. There is just nothing that is the same as that. But I do hope that if you have things that come up, if you have questions or recommendations, I love hearing from you guys. So please reach out. I would love to hear from you. Thank you, and God bless you.